All right, people are starting to join now. I guess I shared it on the wrong feed to start. Going to get going in 30 seconds. All right, so the purpose of today's live stream is to provide updates on the progress that we're making on this effort. For those of you that may be on for the first time and have not watched any of the other live streams, for more information, just go to bowlingforgold.com, and on the top right menu bar, there is a podcast that I did with Bruce Hall that gives a little insight, and there's also a short video, 3-minute video. So if you want to learn more about what bowlingforgold.com's effort's all about, you can do that. In a nutshell, it's a worldwide movement to try and secure bowling in the Olympic Games in Paris, France, 2024. As far as an update on where we stand right now, I do have some good news. Kevin Dornberger was in Paris setting up for the inaugural youth championships, the world championships. He had several meetings with folks there. Bruno Bedone gave me an update last night. He's part of the French Federation and really is on the ground in France. And yesterday, late afternoon or early evening, the French Federation actually, on their main website, their landing page, right on the top right corner, pretty bold, they actually have our website and our effort right there. From what I understand, we are pretty good to go in regards to being selected by the French Federation as a sport to be considered. So that's real good news. Similar process happened in Japan. We were selected, and then at the end of the day, we did not win the selection process. But from what we understand, this process is going to be a little bit different. If we are indeed selected, we may know that as soon as March, sometime in March, could be early April. If we are one of the sports selected, which we believe we're going to be, there could be an opportunity again where we're going to have to present against other sports if the French Federation is told by OOC that they need to whittle the sports down a little bit more than the ones that were selected. So that's really where this effort is so important. We do not want to fall on our feet in France. If we have a seat at the table, I've been assured that. So now it's all about presenting the best data that we can to help with our cause. So far, I'm going to say the negative news of what we're trying to do so far is this has not gone viral as of yet. We have had a little over 80 countries participate in the survey and petition, but 67% of all the respondents have been United States respondents. We need this to be worldwide. It cannot be a United States effort. In the event that we have to provide the type of data that we're gathering, and we will have to do it. I'm certain that we're going to have more evidence about the viewership, about the age demographics, about the willingness for folks to pay for possible subscriptions to channels, whether they're online channels. All of the survey questions that we have are derived to try and pull out data about our bowling community and what revenue opportunities the Olympics have by having bowling in the Olympics. At the end of the day, you would hate to say that money is what really sways things, but unfortunately, it just may. And we need to be able to show evidence that we've got a huge, massive following worldwide, that we've got incredible participation levels all around the world at a very high level, very athletic level, at a very recreational level, and a youthful level. We all know here in the United States, those of us that are here, that our youthful movement is as strong as it's ever been It's well organized, well participated. There are all kinds of incredible programs for our young adults and our even teens and early teens to participate in, to really take this craft of bowling and make it something that's not just recreational for them, but more of a, a sport. And that's really where we've gone the past decade here in the United States, and I know it's like that worldwide. So that's one of the most critical things that I'm learning as we're going along is, how do we get the participation level for this website to where we believe it needs to be. We've also heard that some people are worried, is this real? Is this a some kind of gimmick? Is it a spam? Is this a real website? Is this a real effort? Those are some comments that we've heard behind the scenes, and I can assure you this is not anything fake. This is something that was put together by bowlers for bowlers with no alternative motives. There's no agenda behind the scenes. All it simply is an effort of lifelong bowling participants trying to do something to help our sport advance to the next level. Bowling is on an upswing. Yeah, that is safe to say. If we go back a decade ago, everyone would say bowling, the sport, is dead. There were some worldwide tournaments and some worldwide programs that were doing good, but we are on an upswing again. But is that really enough? We envision the Olympics not as the end-all perfect thing for the sport of bowling. We don't know what the venues are going to look like. We propose certain things. We don't know, how extensive the participation will be from the different countries and how many different individuals from each country will be there. All of that stuff's being worked out still. But at the end of the day, if we get bowling in the Olympics in France, and then in 2028, we're back here in the United States in LA, and if we're in France, we'll be in LA. Now we can start to possibly make a movement to increase sponsors. And, really at the end of the day, what do we want from this? We want young kids to aspire to be an athlete that can make a living for themselves, a good living. For the past 2 decades, it's been very difficult for our athletes here in the United States and mostly worldwide to really make any type of living at the sport from a pure competition level. Now money's a little bit better on the PBA. We've got the PWBA back in play. There are some worldwide events where folks can earn more than what we were making a decade ago. But really, that's not even close to enough. The dedication that countries put into this, that athletes put into this, to get paid the way you get paid, doesn't make any sense. And the only path to really make this happen is if we have Olympic recognition and we go down that path, because that, in my mind and others, can lead to the larger sponsorship deals that can then have our young stars and our current athletes paid to do what they're very good at and dedicate their lives to. It's pretty hard, if you think about it, in the world. Where are you going to go in the sport of bowling if we don't increase, this type of effort? It's great. It's a great fundamental game. The collegiate level is incredible. The youth games are incredible. But at the end of the day, we want to make this a top level sport. And this is one path I believe we can do that with. As we're rolling out different live streams and I'm getting feedback, whether it be private messages or messages on different websites, some people are like, well, we won't really need bowling in the Olympics because they're going to try and change the entire sport, or, bowling's not broke right now. Why are we trying to, advance this in that direction? That's the minority of folks. The majority of everyone I talk to and the responses I'm getting for everyone would like to see this advance itself as an Olympic sport. It just makes sense. But we need to make sure with this seat at the table this time around that we are putting our best foot forward as a bowling community. So I need everybody to do what they can. I talked to Jason Belmonte a couple days ago, and he's been traveling back and forth with the PBA Tour. He's dedicated to creating some viral movement through his fan page. I've been speaking with Tim Mack in regards to For those of you who don't know Timmy, I grew up with Timmy. I sponsored him when he was a young, incredible bowler. He's still an incredible bowler if he wasn't didn't have all his health issues. But he's got international connections throughout the world in regards to, just his charisma. So he's put together a list of international stars that we can create maybe a separate type of Facebook group where we can work together to figure out exactly what we need to do to get this through the different countries and the folks that that follow them. I know Kevin Dornberger just sent out the release to all the federation heads. This was a newsletter that went out. I read it a couple hours ago, and that's going through the Hong Kong Exchange out to all the different federations throughout the world. And there's a really strong call to action for the federations to get on board and do what they have to do for their members or their different social clubs or however they're organized. So that's just starting as well. USBC just started to launch some different ads, banner ads on their website. They also are going through some live email blasts to their members, and we're working on ways through USBC to reach the youth competition levels, whether it be the collegiate coaches, the players themselves, high school coaches. That's what we need to get involved. We need the youth to see that this movement is for them. I mean, it is for many of us that are still competing, but as we're getting older, this is more about the youth. It's about the upcoming generations and getting them set to be a very successful path to have a bowling career. So we need to do that. We need to help. We need to figure out exactly what we do as a group to get the word out, to make this thing go viral around the world. Again, time is of the essence. Unfortunately, we've got roughly about a month and a half to 2 months to really get what we need into the data machine so that we can aggregate all the data and have the evidence that we need to put forward in the event we need to demonstrate to Olympic officials that bowling is worthy of Olympic competition, and it's a good venue for them. So anything anyone can suggest, bloggers, websites, journalists. I have an interview with Bowlers Journal tomorrow morning, so we should be covered there. I know Jeff Regals did one story, maybe even 2 stories, but there are plenty of websites out there that are dedicated to the bowling community and bringing news to fans and participants around the world. And I need help. We need help. We need everyone to pitch in and figure out what you can do in your country with your friends, your contacts, to move this along so that we have, maybe it's a 30 or 40% US participation, but a much higher international. Again, we've got over 80 countries that have signed on, but a lot of them are onesie-twosies. Some of the bigger countries some of the bigger countries that have signed on in regards to volume have been like Canada, Colombia. We haven't seen a lot from any of the Asian countries as of yet. France obviously has, with some of the push we have on the ground there, we've seen some good response from the French people. But we need to move, and I guess that's my presentation for tonight. Any questions anyone has, feel free to reach out to me. You can shoot me an email, shoot me a text. I'm here 100% to try and move this along. And I really want to thank everyone for doing what they can so far, and we just need some more. It doesn't make any sense if you're a bowler, a fan of a bowler, a friend of a bowler, a family member of a bowler, not to go on a website where your privacy is 100% protected, to go through a 2-minute survey and sign a petition. That's all we're asking. You don't have to pay anything. You're not going to be sent any spam emails. You're not going to be solicited for any products or services. Everything is just about this mission of gathering data to help support the effort that so many have put forward in the past. And we have an opportunity now to advance our cause. And I will stop rambling on. As you can tell, I'm a little passionate about this, so I'm sorry if I'm taking too much of your time, but I just want to get the word out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, great morning, great day, wherever you're located around the world, and let's keep this thing going. Thank you.